hometown of Louisville,
also a Democrat mayor and a Democrat governor. Go ahead.
Your hometown of Louisville has comparable murder rates and property. So you're saying it's all about the Democratic mayor and the Democratic. Would you advise the president to describe Louisville as he describes Washington? Would you support sending the military into Louisville?
But I mean, like,
I want to hear.
Let Scott answer.
I want murder solved.
Can I finish? Just let her finish.
Scott's going to.
Well, if she wants to come out here and take pot shots at me, I'm not going to allow it. It's a stupid argument. I'm not going to allow it.
Scott, just let her finish.
The Constitution designates.
The president says he can send them into other
You're
cities
exactly
as
right.
well.
But you're exactly right. Louisville is a violent place. We had kids shot at a bus stop. We have an epidemic of violence in Louisville, and it has been under Democratic control for decades. That's why Trump is reducing crime, and I don't understand why Democrats want to keep it the same.
Guys, Scott Jennings is tired, okay? He's tired of the radical left. I mean, what else is new? So am I. I'm sure most of you guys are, except for the hate watchers out there. But this guy was not having the January 6th arguments today because it just seems like the Democrats, no matter what happens with Trump, they have to find some sort of angle to twist and pervert everything because they don't stand for anything anymore except for being the opposition party. They have to twist and contort and pervert every freaking thing into something ugly, like anything beautiful into the most ugliest thing they can. And they're trying to turn this Trump DC temporary takeover into something like some authoritarian, some Hitler, and then they start talking about January 6th again, and then they also did personal attacks against him. Scott wasn't having it. Take a look.
I guess I'm old enough, Scott, to remember when you were appalled, as the rest of us were, on January 6th, when he wouldn't.
Because January 6th happened. Should we not enforce the law today?
Excuse me.
Do you want murders today?
Let me finish, Scott.
January 6th equals no enforcement of murder. This is a silly argument.
No, let me finish before you make a point about a silly
argument.
argument.
It'll be silly, but go ahead.
No, what's silly is you sitting down with Mitch McConnell over Chick-fil-A and lamenting how Donald Trump was putting all of you, including Mitch McConnell, in harm's way. But I guess now you're so...
I wasn't in harm's way. I was in Louisville.
No, your then boss, your friend Mitch McConnell certainly was. But, now...
January 6th was a bad day.
Can I finish?
Murders are also bad.
Can I finish?
I want murders solved.
Can I finish? Just let her finish.
Scott's going to...
Well, if she wants to come out here and take pot shots at me, I'm not going to allow it. It's a stupid argument. I'm not going to allow it.
Scott, just let her finish. I don't even know that we've even heard the argument
yet.
No,
we heard it. We heard everything.
You were deprived. So go ahead,
Scott,
Julie.
I know you're thirsty for that Senate seat, but let me finish. What I'm going to say...
Again, you allow this every night.
Scott, just give me 1 second here. Let's just let her finish, please.
Okay.
Just one
Listen,
second.
I know you've got the picky thing going on, but here's what I'm going to say.
What are you thirsty for? Some kind of relevance out here?
No, actually, Scott,
I don't know what you do for a living.
Originally, this conversation was supposed to be about crime and crime statistics. Now, we know that the Democrats love to deny every single thing that President Trump supports, even if it's stuff that makes sense. Now, this has obviously led to their downfall in the 2024 presidential election. We saw that, you got to think, if the news was being believed and the Democrats were being believed in the things that they were saying, then President Trump would not have stood a chance, because the vast majority of the news on TV, and I'd even argue on YouTube, like social media, is against President Trump and the Republicans. Like literally every celebrity. Like who did Trump have? Hulk Hogan, Rob Schneider? There's barely anybody. Like they had so many people on the Democrat side, but yet they still make the same foolish mistake. And even so-called Republicans, these are people who obviously advocate for Democrat type policies, or at the very least are very anti-Trump, traditionally are going against the narrative here.
Yeah, I think a few things can be true. One is that I think he's using this issue to distract for some other things. That doesn't mean it's a bad political strategy. I think it's a very good one. And the numbers can be what they are, but also people don't feel that way. And when it comes to two things, crime and the economy, feelings don't really care about your facts. And I can't tell you how profoundly stupid it is for Democrats to get up with their facts and their figures and their charts and their graphs and say, look, you're safe. Can't you read this chart, idiots? Why are you complaining? I'm showing you right here how safe you are, so shut up and move along. I don't have to tell you how profoundly stupid that is, because voters told you how profoundly stupid that was in 2024, when Democrats said, see these economic numbers? The economy's great. What are you complaining about? See these crime numbers? Crime's down. You're safe. See these immigration numbers? Obama deported way more. There's no migrant crisis. I can't tell you enough that politics is perception, and the numbers can be right, but you never tell voters they're wrong about how they feel.
It's a dang shame when even freaking Trump deranged Joe Scarborough is even calling Democrats out for this nonsense.
The answer to this problem for Democrats is not, oh, everything's okay, there's nothing to see here, move along, move along. Oh, Washington has dropped 24% or whatever in crime. Well, let me give you some other numbers. The Washington Post took a poll at late April, early May. 91% of Washington residents say crime is a problem. 91%. 51%, it is an extremely serious problem. And John Heilman, we've had people before put this in racial terms. And this is, I must say, this is one thing that I think Democrats have gotten so wrong about crime. So wrong about crime. Let me just read the Washington Post here. There are stark divides among lines of race and income in the poll, with black residents and lower income residents significantly more worried about crime than white residents and those with higher incomes. As they were last year, black women are among the most concerned, with 65% saying crime is a very or extremely serious issue, compared with 82% who said the same thing last year.
But wait, guys, there's more, because as I mentioned in the previous story, and I'm sure to no surprise of anyone watching, turns out those crime statistics were forged. Check out Scott Jennings with this bombshell discovery.
And well, if you watched any cable news over the last several days, you no doubt heard an anchor or another anchor or another anchor or another pundit or another commentator, one after the other, claiming that Washington, D.C.'s crime stats are at a 30-year low, all in their quest to discredit President Trump's move to bolster the police in our nation's capital. Well, it turns out, and most thinking people knew this already, the stats were fake. Now we have the receipts. The news site Washington Free Beacon, which I cannot recommend highly enough, dropped a blockbuster story this morning proving that the Washington Police Department intentionally falsified the crime statistics. According to internal records and communications reviewed by reporter Elena Goodman, police leaders repeatedly told officers to downgrade theft cases, knife attacks, and violent assaults to lesser offenses. See how that works? A whistleblower in the department filed a lawsuit and described the scheme this way. She was instructed to downgrade a number of felonies to misdemeanors so that there would be fewer felonies in the statistics. She also provided records showing that police leaders explicitly instructed their subordinates to underclassify certain instances of theft to keep them out of the crime stats the city reports to the public. Folks, we have entered an era of unrepentant propaganda.
Is anyone surprised? Of course, they recategorize, they change things to whatever they have to make things look good. I mean, you got to think, guys, in a day and age where we know that the facts and the numbers mean everything, what happens if you just change the numbers? I mean, guys, it's called cooking the book. They've been doing this in accounting since accounting existed. Obviously, they're going to cook the books. They're not going to admit that there's any problems. Instead of being able to fix the problem, if you tie their hands, because this is the problem, they've tied their hands in a lot of these woke Democrat places. And what they try to do is say, well, even with their hands tied, the crime has gone down. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to pretend as though they're doing a good job. Classic communistic tendencies, guys. Hey, everything's fine. If you say everything's not fine, then we're going to accuse you of lying, say you're crazy, potentially even throw you in jail. That's what the Democrats really want to do. Unfortunately for them, we're in America. We got that pesky First Amendment and Second Amendment and Third Amendment. We got all the amendments, so they can't get away with murder and just lies and just propaganda. They try, they so desperately try, like this foolish propagandist at the beginning of the video that Scott Jennings cooked, but they try and they fail, as you could see here, because now that this story's out, all the Democrats on the news are going to have to admit the truth. And I'm sure Scott Jennings is going to be cooking up another storm probably tonight. But like, I think while I'm recording this, he's probably live on Newsnight, and he's going to be cooking up a storm saying, well, looks like the Democrats were wrong yet again.
Well. Would you look at that? Let's see who on your television today has the guts to admit their mistakes. I wouldn't hold my breath if I were you.
And Joe Scarborough is trying to warn them. This S.E. Cupp lady is trying to warn them. So they got people that's not usually on their side too, trying to tell them, but are they going to correct course? I don't think so, because these people are stupid. I think that they're going to keep saying that crime is down, even with the facts out there proving that it's not. And you got people being investigated and terminated and put on leave and all of these different things for forging statistics. And yet I guarantee you that at the very least, the people on the news, they may kind of start, just not talking about it as much, but guarantee you all the Democrat politicians are going to double and triple down, because they are freaking morons. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rise channel. I'm out.
Brought to you by the people who are supposed to give you the real stats, the real news, tell you the real truth. No wonder trust in media has cratered to all-time lows. Washington, D.C. is not a safe place. Anyone who lives there or visits often knows it. But because Donald Trump decided to do something about it, the propaganda machine whirred to life to discredit his decision. And Democrats and his opponents in the media have chosen again to die on the wrong side of another 80-20 hill, although 20 may be generous.